my story has actually started in 2009. I got an opportunity to go on a mission trip to Honduras. While we were there, there's an orphanage there that had about 55 kids. And so part of the children's ministry is we would go to the orphanage and spend time with the kids and do stories and just playtime in general. Well, the first time I saw Minor, just to say his name makes me want to smile. The first time I ever saw him, they were kind of taking us on a little tour of the orphanage, and felt this little kid had his arm wrapped around my knee. He just tugged at my heart. I was very emotional when I left after that trip, and I thought, get a grip, Martha, what are you doing? Got home, I just couldn't get him out of my mind, couldn't get him out of my heart, and just started thinking, wow, I just love this kid. So I started checking into possible adoptions just to see what was going on. A child had never been adopted out of this orphanage. It was not recognized by the Honduran government. So the first 2 years I spent working through an attorney trying to get the government to recognize this orphanage so I could pursue paperwork. I tried to go back twice a year to spend time with him. Would spend 10 days to 2 weeks at a time with him, and every time it just got harder and harder and harder to leave. And I shed many tears, and after the third trip, he started shedding tears when I left, and the bond was just mutual, and it was just a connection. And I have to admit, I did lose faith at one point and thought this is just taking extremely too long. And in 2013, at Christmas time, that's when I got a little, I can't do this anymore. I sent an email to my attorneys, and luckily, by the grace of God, they did not stop. I got an email that said, hey, you need to decide in 2 weeks if you're going to go through with this. We've got it to the point of all you have to do is say yes. Went through a little issue with the lady that ran the orphanage when I got there, and it was time for her to bring him to sign. She found a long-lost uncle and brought him and tried to convince the authorities to not let me adopt him. And to think these 4 years had gone by and that there was any remote possibility that they could come around and say, hey, you can't, this is not going to happen now. But thankfully, the child agency said, hey, this is legal. It's going to happen. We got home December 23rd of 2014, family and friends waiting at the airport. He's got to do so many things that he didn't even know he was missing. Doing great in school, and just loves having an extended family. He's loving life. I'm loving life. I love being Minor's mom. He is just an incredible kid. He's very charismatic, and everyone loves him. So if he walked in here, you would think, I feel like I've known this kid my whole life. And maybe that's part of the connection that I had with him, was when I felt like I had known him his entire life.